What's up, DBs? Coach D Magic here from the DB Network, bringing you a full breakdown of Will Johnson out of Michigan. He's a cornerback listed at 6'3", 190 pounds. He's currently a true sophomore. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and in his true freshman year, he had 3 interceptions. The reason why I'm starting with Will Johnson in my first ever full player breakdown is because I saw this clip on the internet of him jamming Marvin Harrison out of bounds. And I said, wow, who is this guy? Marvin Harrison is supposed to be the #1 receiver prospect in a long time, and this guy's over here making him look like he's a rookie. At 6'3", 190, he's drawing comparisons to Patrick Surtain, and I actually agree with those comparisons. He has the length and he has the technique. Again, he's only a sophomore, so he has a long way to go, but when I show you this first play, you'll see why I'm ranking him as the #1 DB in his class and when he decides to come out. Let's get into it. He's going against Marvin Harrison Jr. here, and this shows me a lot about a player. You're a young guy. This guy's supposed to be the best receiver prospect in years, and you're one-on-one right out the gate. This shows me that he has a lot of confidence in himself. We go with the soft press technique. Once the receiver's hips turn over, we shoot 2 hands. Not only do we shoot 2 hands, we completely remove the receiver from the field of play here. We jam him all the way to the sideline. Never has a chance to make a catch here. Like I said, the very first play out of the gate versus the #1 receiver in the country right now, and we get him out of the club. Next play, we're down here. It looks like we're slow to get lined up, so we have to play from space. Doesn't panic. Receiver's hips turn over. We stay square, and we catch that upfield shoulder, and we do a good job of pressing this upfield shoulder, making it difficult for the receiver to get into his route here. As the receiver attempts to get outside, the ball's already thrown. When the quarterback's looking to throw to this side of the field, he sees this here. Can't get better coverage here. He's not going to wait for this to get open. He's immediately got to go to the next read, which he does. So we're down here in the slot. So far, we showed that we can press on the outsides, but how are you in the slot? We're outside leverage. He does a good job of staying patient, stepping to your outside leverage. So this is what I would suggest if you're pressing. So take a patient step or read step to your outside leverage. Step outside, we get bigger at the line of scrimmage. Receiver goes back inside, but because of our length, we're able to still get hands on when our feet aren't necessarily in the best position. We get hands on, then we're able to bring our feet here again, pressing at the top of the route. If the quarterback wants to go here right now, the receiver doesn't even have both feet on the ground. This is a done deal. Top of the screen here, we get back on Marvin Harrison Jr., and we're still going to go with the same technique. We're going to inch back on the release, and then we're going to get 2 hands on him. And yes, this was a run play, but this shows me that we're not afraid to put hands on him. If you could put hands on the best receiver in the country, there's no receiver you should be afraid of. And I suggest this for young DBs. Even on run plays, put hands on receivers. This is a free release, or this is a free one-on-one, if you will. Regardless of what's going on, our job is to make it uncomfortable for this receiver, play in and play out. And trust me, you get enough free jams like this on run plays, you're going to start to frustrate guys. We're up top. We've shown that we can press. Now, as a young corner, what else can you do? Can you tackle? Stay square, put hands on again. He's always looking to get hands on while staying square. I like the patient step to the inside leverage. So if you're inside leverage, take an inside patient step. If you're outside leverage, take an outside patient step. Patient step, stay square, put hands on. It ends up being a pass play here. We come off and we are able to make a tackle. All right, so this isn't the hardest tackle in the world, but again, it shows me that not only is he physical when it's a pass play, he's willing to stick his nose in there and help out on the run. Good play. All right, so we've shown that we can press, we've shown that we can tackle, but how good are your eyes? All right, if you have bad eyes, you're going to consistently put yourself in bad position. It doesn't matter how tall you are, it doesn't matter how fast you are, it doesn't matter how good your feet are. If we're looking at the wrong thing, you're going to be out of position. Usually you're going to split the difference. So if they're at the 15, we're going to be right around 7, 7.5, maybe even 8. We're going to walk back with our inside leverage. Receiver goes for a double move. All right, it's hard to kind of see, but based on his body position, I know where his eyes are. Receiver goes for the slant. As we're looking to drive the slant, we notice the slant and go. We react the same time that the receiver goes for that double move. We stay patient. We're able to get hands on at the top of the route here. And again, as a college, high school football player, you can put hands on at any point of the route as long as the ball is not in the air. All right, so good eye discipline up here. Slant, hands on, done route. Now, not everything's perfect. We're down here and we're gonna be in a cover zero situation. You wanna be inside leverage and you wanna look to catch, all right? So he's inside leverage like he's supposed to be. Receiver stems inside, notices where we are, stems vertical to get us to step. And then look, we're out of position. We reach here and we have bad eyes right here. If the quarterback wants to throw this ball, it's gonna be a touchdown. So it doesn't help to get your eyes back after your beat, checking to see if he's going to throw the ball. Always assume he's going to throw the ball and look to recover. What I would suggest here is just be more patient to your leverage, all right? Be more patient to your leverage. If he runs that fade, that's actually what we want him to run. We get a little ahead of ourselves here and we whiff. Could have been a touchdown. Down here versus Marvin Harrison, we're going to show some off man now. They're going to motion, so we go from having number one to having the new number one, which is Marvin Harrison. When the receiver stems inside, you want to leverage step. So you don't want to just turn and open and run. Leverage step meaning you're going to have a lead foot. So in this case, this is outside foot. So I call it leverage step because you're maintaining your leverage. And some people will call it weave, some people call it push weave, but you're going to push off that front foot, keep it as your lead foot, push off again, keep it as your lead foot. The whole idea is you want to stay square as much as possible while mirroring the stem of the receiver. So push, push, receiver attempts to break back outside. We do a good job of showing that we can flip those hips. Now from here, you want to try to get to that upfield shoulder, to that new near hip, which we do a good job of matching. So he shows the ability to play off coverage, to stay square as much as possible, and flip those hips at the top of the route. Down here, we're going to be in two-man. Two-man is basically man underneath with two high safeties. So you can be ultra aggressive here. You're going to be aggressive at the line of scrimmage, and you're going to look to get inside trail. All right, so you have everything inside. He cannot cross your face. Anything over the top is the safety. So you have everything inside, outside. Safeties have you over the top. You can play it from press like this DB is, or you can play it from off. He's going to stay square, wait for the receiver's release. Once the receiver releases outside, gets hands on. Again, he's aggressive once he gets hands on. He doesn't just put hands on and let that be the end of it. He's going to look to get hands on and completely remove you from the play. Again, getting the receiver out of bounds here. Bottom of the screen, we finally get some zone coverage. We're in cover 2. If you have one receiver as a cover 2 corner, be aggressive. If the back is near you and they throw it to the back, you can always rally to the flat. But especially if you have the #1 receiver on their team, you basically have him everywhere but across the field. Steps to his outside leverage. Receiver goes with a quick speed inside release. We're still able to get hands on him with our length. Press him as much as we can. We don't know if he's going under or not, but we want to delay him in some way. Put hands on, and then you want to sink at a 45-degree angle this way to play underneath the 7 route. You're going to have your eyes on the quarterback. If the quarterback's shoulders turn this way, that tells you he's throwing to the flat. If they stay vertical, that tells you he's looking for the 7. So we got to be able to play both. Hands on, press, 45-degree angle. Now look, we're in between this and we can rally to that. Outside on Marvin Harrison Jr. again, we have a very wide split. You should be inside leverage. You should expect inside breaking routes. Literally the only thing he can run from here is a fade. Yes, he can still catch that, and yes, he can put the ball there as the quarterback, but 90% of everything you should be thinking is inside, inside, inside. We go with a motor technique. I don't like that we give up our inside leverage here. Now look at all of this space the receiver has to work with, and we're not in between him and the ball. We do a good job of getting to the high shoulder. If you have one high safety here, you need to slice immediately. You don't want to stay outside shoulder here, but a good receiver is going to keep you behind them once you get behind. Receiver and quarterback aren't able to connect here, but I would say this is a bad rep by us because we give up our inside leverage, knowing or presumably knowing that he's going to go inside here, and we don't really affect this, but we're still able to be near him at the catch point.
Music licensing reimagined.
So as a corner, you're going to have to be able to press. You're going to have to be able to press on, press off, play off, man coverage, and then be able to tackle. Now, where's your IQ? When things get tricky and when things get complicated by the offense, how are we able to process information? So right now we're in man coverage, but they're in one hole coverage. So one hole coverage is good on the red zone when you're anticipating crossing routes. Let's watch how it plays out. This DB actually ends up making a good play right here, but it's actually our fault why it was this close. So there's a lot going on here. We're going to get number 8 going across. We're going to get Marvin Harrison going across for the mesh. And then we have a fake reverse here. Now, when Marvin Harrison makes his way across formation, this safety is going to cut it, all right? Because it's going to be hard for us to get across the field and man-to-man on mesh concepts. So the safety is going to cut it, meaning he's going to take this under route. As the DB, if you are ever cut, so if you ever have a man and someone takes your man, you now need to look to help out somewhere else. So the way we were always taught is if you get cut, you become the cutter. If someone goes in, somebody is coming out. So we missed this here. This is actually supposed to be our responsibility here. He's a young guy at this point, and this is a very tricky formation, offensive concept. So we get our eyes here. We forget that we need to now involve ourselves by finding work, and he sneaks by us. Luckily, number 0's there to have our back. And then last play down here, we're on Marvin Harrison again, just showing some press. I don't know what point we are in the game, but you should be very comfortable at this point. First play of the game, you got him. You're getting him during the game. You should be very comfortable. We do a good job of staying square again, getting to the receiver before he gets 5 yards, pressing that upfield shoulder here, just making it difficult, and then we slice underneath. All right, so he's shown everything this game. I would say the one thing that he needs to work on, obviously that cover 0 situation, his IQ, which will grow with more experience. Right out the gate versus one of the best receivers in the country, he showed that he's not afraid. He showed his length, his technique, which is why I'm drawing comparisons to Patrick Surtain. He's 6'2", can move his feet, plays low. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of his career pan out. Appreciate your time. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any other suggestions on what you would like to see other DBs, please write that in the comment section. I'll do my best to get to it. Until next time, peace.